Hey guys, it is 28 degrees right now and the humidity is crazy high, and I decided I would start the camera early while I'm finishing getting ready because I need something productive to do because it's cold. So we are going to finish getting ready and ay, hace frío. That's Spanish for, oh, it's cold. I'm going to finish getting ready, and I'm going to take you guys up on the Overland course with me for basically some cardio. I trail run every day for 45 minutes, and then I trade some of that trail running time for training time out here because it's also cardio because I move quickly when I'm doing this. I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. Someone's going to ask, so I'm going to tell you, this is the Seeker 612 from First Spear, SICR. It's short incursion chest rig, SICR. 612 is where the little cutouts that the accessory pouches go onto. They're not made anymore, but you can still find them on eBay. So if you're interested in one, get them there. Oh, it is so cold out here. Anyways, it's cold enough out here that if you're using the wrong kind of lube on your rifle, you'll figure it out real quick, because your rifle will seize up if it gets too cold. If you're using crap lube, I'm using extreme duty gun lube from Lucas, and it's actually really good oil. It does its job very, very well, and it keeps my rifle nice and lubed up, and this rifle is actually dirty at the moment, so that's really saying something. Alright, let's finish getting suited up because I'm cold! Holy crap, it's cold. I'm a glutton for punishment. You know, look, the reason I'm doing this is today is the day after Christmas, and there's only so much inside time a man can take, and then he just goes stir crazy, and I'm stir crazy. We will start here. I will fire around at 100 onto the steel target, 75, 50, 25. I'm going to skip the 7-yard shot because I'll jack up the target from that close. And then we will move that way along the road, 100-yard shot. We'll work our way up the hill, 300-yard shot. We will move into the woods, hit a few targets up there, come back around, hit some more targets, work our way all the way through the valley, up the other side, into the extended Overland course that I've added, and we're gonna have fun, and it's gonna be about 45 minutes. Don't worry, I'll edit it down for you guys, but I wanted to show you the full Overland course the way it is, and it's cold, so that helps a little bit. All right, I realized that because my phone is charging and being without comms is stupid, I decided that I'm going to bring my backpack along to have my phone in there. Plus I've got some medical in here too. But basically the way this goes is it's chest rig, backpack. Backpack goes in place, strap it down, verify that nothing's in the way. So my light's right here. I always make sure that I have a lot of light on my person. I've done a lot of medical training, and I've done a lot of tactical training, and the two have merged. And then you do tactical and medical and low light, and everything goes in the trash can. My friend Shane is watching this right now going, yeah, because he's a former special operations medic, and he's like, yeah. You mix tactical and medical in darkness, it's a whole other world, so you better have a lot of light on your person at all times. If we were actually doing low light, there would also be a headlamp right here, just around my neck, that I could automatically activate and pull up and put high if I needed to. Chest rig, backpack, rifle. And the way this works is, if for some reason you have to get into your bag, you would come out of the rifle and the rifle would stay put. Then you would take the bag off, the bag would come out, you would set it down, you would get what you needed out of the bag. Notice the rifle's still in place and the chest rig is still on. The bag goes back on again, and then you go behind the sling, yeah. And you'll notice that the whole time that rifle's in front of me. So I can visualize that this rifle is safe. If it were dark, I would feel the rifle to make sure that I'm still unsafe, because you will flip your safety off on a regular basis, so make sure your safety is on. Bag is back on, chest rig never came off, I'm back in the rifle. I can store the rifle to the side. This is actually the majority of the carry time for the rifle is actually here when you're moving with it. Because what do we do primarily with rifles? We walk with them. We're not primarily shooting rifles, we're primarily walking with them. So this is where this rifle would sit. And that's why the bungee that I sew into my slings is crucial, because there's a backpack that's been thrown into the mix now. There's a chest rig that's been thrown into the mix now. Plus I've tightened this up because I've shed enough weight recently that I needed to take a little more slack out of the sling for when I do precision shots. There you go. I wanted to create the tension that I needed across the forearm for shots like that on the fly. 100 yards. This one's not, you guys have seen me do this at 250. That's not asking all that much. But anyways, this is the setup for today. We're gonna start moving because I'm really cold. And here we go. Shot number one is taken from the prone position, center mass of that target. And then we move into the 75. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Saw sparks fly on that one. All right, so basically we finished shooting this guy. We moved past him. This thing has so many hits, I don't know which ones are mine. Anyways, we heard dings, so we're gonna call that good because it is flipping cold. All right, so we move this way now. Move about 100 plus yards out to the 100 yards zeroing area, and then take a shot on a 10-inch gong and then work our way up the hill. This ought to be interesting because I don't have a lot of visibility. Love it. The sound of steel getting hit has a psychological effect that creates a new neural pathway within 300 milliseconds of seeing, hearing, and sensing that hit. 300 milliseconds is the human eyelid blinking and opening back up again. Now think about that. The majesty of God's creation is that in that very blink of an eye time span, you create a new neural pathway and you label it success. So from the mulch pile way over there to over here, 2 shots high, which is about all I could see through all that grass. You can see them, the really black ones. Booyah. Up the hill we go. All right. I've just hiked 200 plus yards. I got a 6-inch lollipop out in front of me. Whew. Let's try that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know that I want to try that again. Oh, that felt good. Application of the basics. That's all this is, guys. Application of the basics. Here's a quick aside for you. Recently someone asked me a question about wearing tactical gear in a bug out situation. Honestly, I would avoid having anything on the waistline. I would have things on a chest rig. If I had a war belt, yeah, but war belts are 6 of one, half dozen on the other. But I would try to avoid having pinching points around the waist in case you have to get up or down, prone, kneeling, standing. I avoid having things around the waistline because things that are here, if you take a fall, can cause a lot of damage to the musculoskeletal system. I prefer to have things on a chest rig. This is a very forgiving chest rig. You can move it around. You can hike it up and down when you're prone. Same thing with a backpack. You can dump a bag if you need to and go back later, or You can cinch it in tight. This bag has a rigid frame on the inside, and the straps get it where I want it to be, and it's tight across the chest, and the band is where I need it to be, and it keeps everything on my person. Come on. The answer to the query that some of you will have is no, I'm not shooting frangible ammunition. I'm shooting full power M193. This is Brazilian M193, high quality, very good stuff. Yes, I get hit with bullet fragmentation. Yes, it can open an artery, but that's the reality of practicing. People ask about the hits. 10-inch gongs, I forget what those are, 11 by 5 point something. That's an A zone basically. And you clip somebody in the center part of their chest with a round coming out of a 13.7 like this, an M193 coming out of a 13.7, you're talking about the ability to zip right through level 3A armor. So you're talking about considerable velocity and a lot of punch on impact. Shot placement with rifle is nowhere near as crucial. Hope I didn't skip one. Is nowhere near as crucial as it is with handgun. That dude has been abused big time. When you get up, inspect your muzzle. I was at a SWAT school years ago, and the operator took a knee. His 11.5-inch barreled rifle muzzled into the ground, and when he rose, I was laying on the ground photographing up, and when he rose, he muzzled me like this. And it is what it is, guys. I live in front of the muzzle. And I saw the end of his muzzle with Alabama clay packed up in there, and I rolled over quick, jumped up to a knee, and grabbed him, and I said, "Hold your fire, hold your fire." And he was like, "What the hell? What are you grabbing me for?" And I said, "Look at your muzzle." He didn't hear me. I said, "Look at your muzzle." And the whole front of the rifle was packed with mud. He would have blown up the front of that rifle, and he would have shrapneled me on the ground. This right here is the gatekeeper. This is essentially the sentry, and it signifies enter here. All right, guys, watch. Rifle sling technique. You jam the sling into the tree, you push forward into the sling, and you can lean out. Target's right there in front of me. Neck shot, headshot. The sling into the tree is like what you see helicopter crews doing. When they take that strap across the open door, the sniper pushes the rifle in, it creates dynamic tension, creates stability, and they lean into the gun, and it allows them to get far more accurate hits than if they were trying to just free hold the gun in a moving helicopter. We will do this shot right here because I'm dangerously close to this guy and I don't want to open an artery. let me answer the question that a lot of you have about shooting steel. Like I said earlier, this is M193, full power ammunition. You do not need frangible ammo to shoot steel up close as long as you are using an oblique angle. If I was dead on that plate, I'd run the risk of opening an artery in my neck. I've been nicked with stuff before that's pretty bad. But if I'm here off to the side of it, and the rounds ended up harmlessly right there in the soil, and if you look at the target, what you see are two distinct smear marks of copper there and there as the rounds came at the target here and here. And that ring you hear it's a very distinct sound that goes with armored steel. It's a very, very distinct sound. You can tell when you hear that ring on a hit. Ding. So that tells you that's an armored plate. People right now are losing their minds because I'm shooting steel up close. Don't do what I'm doing, okay? I'm what is known as a professional. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. I know that I can safely shoot steel up close without danger to myself. I know my offsets. I know my mechanical offset between optic and muzzle, so I know that if my rifle is canted one way or another, I have to compensate for where that dot is sitting in relation to where the bullet is going to end up. But I know how to safely work around steel. And if this were garbage steel that had a lot of pits in it, I wouldn't do this, because it will kick pieces back at you and will open up veins and arteries. Come on. There's a certain young man who's watching this video who has a mind that's always calculating, so I'm going to do this on his behalf. The bullet, when I'm shooting, will absolutely go through this tree. I want to show you that there's a deflection that happens when a round goes through any considerable object, and this is a considerable object, and it will probably not hit that target. Now it may nick the target, but it's not going to hit where I'm aiming. So let me move a little further back and show you what I'm talking about. All right, right now I've got that target dead on. Now you notice how the bullet went through the tree and hit the dirt. So let me do this again. Notice where it ended up? Ended up way over there. The second this round enters this tree, the instant this round enters the tree, it starts tumbling, blowing apart. It's not going to hit that target. So as amazing as it sounds, this is ballistic defilade. This can actually give you usable cover. So, right? I know you're calculating it, man. On your way back, you basically head toward the target. You don't move pell-mell because there are a lot of holes in the ground here. And if I get hurt, I'll be out here by sundown, and then the critters will come after me before help can get to me. You set up, rotate, and then move. As you'll notice as I walk, the sling takes that little bit of bounce of the rifle and eats it up. Right now the rifle's in storage mode off to the side so that my legs aren't hitting it when I'm walking or when I'm running. And at a moment's notice, if I need it, I can swing it up to use it. That's why a sling that has bungee in it, that's set up for carrying a gun, makes a big difference. I know somebody's gonna go, why don't you use a Camelback, Abner? All right, let me tell you why. I had a Camelback in this thing, and what ends up happening when you're moving under stress and things are very tight, because they have to be tight, because things have to be compressed. Oh, how did I do that one? Oh, brilliant. I wasn't even paying attention. Ah. There we go. When you're moving quickly, things have to be tight. And when things get tight, safety on, when things get tight, you end up with the Camelback being squeezed on the inside of the bag. Well, here's the reality of a Camelback under pressure. They will leak. Those fancy schmancy, hang on, I can only do one thing at a time. I am a man. All right, those fancy seals on camelbacks will leak. And what you will end up with is a horrible mess in your bag. Bruh, come on! Really? Yes, of course I did, because I was busy talking to you guys. Meanwhile, you'll notice I'm controlling my rifle. You'll lose a foot doing this. If you're not paying attention and you're not muzzle aware, you will lose a foot. All right, so the last thing you do is you verify that your rifle moves freely to the full-on storage position for rendering medical, for bringing it around, for shooting with it. But you make sure that everything is squared away. I'm good on ammo. And, and the other thing is someone's gonna make a comment about the temperature. Yeah, it's only 28 degrees with ridiculously high humidity, because those of you that are from the West that go, actually, yeah, I think I said this earlier. I attended a class years ago taught by a guy, from Wyoming. And he said, and I think it was like 28 degrees. And he said, I cannot believe how cold it is here. Well, he comes from a dry cold. This is Tennessee. This is a very wet cold. And as you can see, it's sleeting and snowing right now. Come on. Now we head back the full, however far it is that we are right now. We head all the way back. And the last thing we do is a 300-yard shot. Because by the time I get there, I'm winded again because I'm moving pretty quick. You do not move quickly on that terrain. Too many holes. This, you move quickly on. The other thing is if you take a tumble, you're less likely to damage your rifle, because the rifle is muzzle up right now and off to the side. So if I were to go down, the muzzle is not going to strike, the butt will. And also the rifle's off to the side, so there's less chance of damaging that rifle. Because remember, if you're out in the wilderness, whether it be hunting or survival, your rifle is your life. All right, teaching moment. If I was in an environment where I'm fairly sure that I'm safe, then I would take the rifle, push that away from myself, and store the rifle to the back. By storing it to the back of my body, the bungee has now grabbed the rifle and keeps it to the side of the bag. And the rifle will stay there until I reach for it to bring it around to use it. But now this actually allows me to move far more efficiently, because I don't have the rifle in front going boop, 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 bumping into me. All right, guys, I want to show you something. Chest rig gets hiked up so that you can put your abdominal wall flat. The rifle is on the magazine, which behaves like a monopod. I slide away from the barrier, and my right hand, my support hand, goes forward and pitches the rifle against the barrier. I take my toes, my big toes on the inside, and I drag against the ground and I push my body forward. There we go. There we go. It fogged over so bad I couldn't see the target anymore. And that is the end of the course. Some of the lessons that come from this. Know your equipment. Have good support gear. I've got Olympus 5 trail running shoes. Like I said earlier, I trail run every day now. So this is what I trail run in. I'm wearing denim, which, yes, it's cotton, yes, it's cold, and it's snowing out here, but it does its job as a windbreak, which is all I'm after. I'm wearing military grade thermal insulation underneath, ECWCS, plus I'm wearing running tights that come from here up to insulate your goodies from the ECWCS, because if you needed to wash something, you're better off washing a small pair of underwear and a small undershirt as opposed to a full-length garment that is going to take forever to dry, and you need this garment on your person. So the parts of your anatomy that need to be isolated from what you're wearing are going to be the parts and armpits. So that's why you wear small undergarments under the ECWCS, even though ECWCS is more effective on skin contact. But anyways, the other thing is know your rifle, know your ammunition, know your zero, know your capabilities as a shooter. The weather's bad, but I chose to do this on my own. My optic has baby soap on it, front and back, so that it won't fog over. Really wish I'd remembered to do that to my glasses, but I didn't. But the baby soap makes a big difference in keeping the humidity from sticking to the lenses from respirations alone. So yeah, I thank you guys for coming out. I thank you guys for your support with Sling purchases. And everything I do is out of pocket, so I thank you for your donations and your purchases. I love this, guys. I love sharing this stuff with you. Thank you for coming out. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one. And Happy New Year.